28 full years. An entire generation was born, started school, graduated, and never saw Norway at the World Cup. The last time Norway played in the World Cup was in 1998. Back then, Erling Haaland himself hadn't even been born yet. And if Norway had to wait 28 years to return to the World Cup, then Iraq had waited even longer, much longer, a full 40 years. The last time Iraq played in the World Cup was in 1986. Back then, Diego Maradona was still leading Argentina, and many of the current national team players hadn't even been born yet. 40 years of absence, 40 years of attempts, and finally, Iraq returned to the World Cup. And that's why Ayman Hussein's goal wasn't just an equalizer. It was a moment an entire generation of Iraqi fans had been waiting for. And here's an interesting fact. The last time Iraq was in the World Cup, not a single player from either of the two teams playing this match had even been born yet. And the strange thing is that Iraq and Norway entered the match with no previous history between them. No World Cup meetings, no qualifiers, not even major friendly matches, meaning the very first page in the history of encounters between the two national teams was written directly at the World Cup. But in 2026, Norway came back, and they came back with one of the most dangerous strikers in the world, Erling Haaland, the player everyone had been waiting for, and everyone wanted to see his first ever World Cup match. But strangely, for almost the first 40 minutes of the game, Haaland wasn't the main character of the story. Iraq was. The fans entered the stadium knowing the task would be difficult, very difficult. On the other side was a European team returning after a long absence, with Haaland, with Odegaard, and with an entire generation eager to prove itself. But Iraq entered the match with courage, and from the very first minutes, it was clear that the Iraqi national team hadn't come to watch. They hadn't come just to defend, and they hadn't come merely to limit the damage. Iraq came to play, to try, and to search for a historic moment. But the start wasn't perfect. Norway applied pressure and tried to impose their identity. As time passed, the difference everyone had been expecting finally appeared. In the 27th minute, Erling Haaland scored his first World Cup goal, the first World Cup goal of his career, and the first real explosion of celebration in the Norwegian stands, 1-0. And at that point, many people thought the match was over, that Norway would open up the game and that Iraq would suffer. But Iraq had a different opinion. The team didn't collapse, and they didn't lose confidence. They started responding, attacking, pressing, and with every passing minute, the Iraqi players grew more confident. Until the 39th minute, the moment Iraqi fans had been waiting decades for. Ayman Hussein rose to meet the ball and scored a goal, 1-1. But that goal wasn't just an equalizer. That goal was Iraq's first World Cup goal in a full 40 years. 40 years. 40 years of waiting, 40 years of dreaming. And finally, the ball hit the back of the net. And the celebrations erupted, in the stands, on the bench, and among millions of Iraqis watching from their screens. And suddenly, the dream started to grow. And the fans began asking themselves, could it happen? Could Iraq surprise everyone? Could we witness a historic night? But the problem is that football can sometimes be very cruel. And sometimes it only takes one moment to change everything. The problem is that Iraq waited 40 years to score another World Cup goal. But the joy of that goal lasted only 4 minutes. Then came the moment that changed the entire match. A mistake from the Iraqi goalkeeper. Haaland was in the right place. And the result? Norway's second goal, 2-1. In a single moment, Iraq's joy turned into shock. And the dream turned into a new chase. And perhaps that was the real turning point of the entire match. Because Iraq was very close to going into the dressing room level on the scoreboard and perhaps feeling capable of creating a surprise. But instead, they went in trailing against a team that possesses one of the most dangerous strikers in the world. And with the start of the second half, Norway began to play with greater confidence, and Iraq started pushing forward in search of an equalizer. But the spaces began to appear, and little by little, the match started to tilt in Norway's favor. And the strange thing is that the final score of 4-1 could fool anyone who didn't watch the match, because it makes it seem as though Norway controlled the game from start to finish. But the reality is different. Iraq had 11 shots during the match, and Norway had only 12, a difference of just one shot. And that's a number that shows Iraq was more involved in the match than the scoreline suggests. But the real difference was the quality in front of goal. Norway put 5 shots on target and scored 4 goals. As for Iraq, they managed only 2 shots between the posts. And that was the real difference. Not possession, not passing, and not the number of attacks. The difference was the final touch. And although Norway had approximately 61% possession, Iraq made them work, made them fight, and forced them to play a serious match, not just a footballing stroll. As time went on, Norway's experience began to show more and more. Then came the third goal, and then the fourth, as the scoreline started to widen. But amid all of that, there was one player writing history, Erling Haaland, the striker who waited many years to play his first World Cup match, and who made the most of the opportunity. 2 goals and a perfect start. And the numbers he has achieved have become frightening. 57 international goals in just 51 matches for Norway, numbers that feel closer to a video game than real football. And the best part for the Norwegians is that their national team has finally returned to the World Cup after a 28-year absence, and they returned with a victory. They returned with 4 goals, and they returned while sending a message to the rest of the tournament. Everyone will talk about Haaland, but Odegaard might only get a couple of lines, and in the shadows, Martin Odegaard was doing what he always does, calmly, without any noise. Norway's captain was controlling the rhythm of the match while Haaland stole the headlines. As for Iraq, despite the defeat, there are positive things that cannot be ignored because the team scored its first World Cup goal since 1986, created chances, reached the opposition goal, and played very good stretches of the match. But unfortunately, in major tournaments like the World Cup, small mistakes come at a heavy cost, and the mistake that happened before the end of the first half carried a very high price. And in the end, people will remember that Norway won 4-1, and they will remember that Haaland scored twice. Norway had been absent from the World Cup for 28 years, and it seems they decided to make up for lost time in a single match. But perhaps the most emotional moment of the entire game was Ayman Hussein's moment, the moment of a goal that Iraqi fans had waited 40 full years to see, a moment that brought the dream back to life, even if that dream lasted only 4 minutes. 4 minutes, the difference between one of the biggest upsets of the tournament and a legendary World Cup beginning for Haaland. And sometimes that's all football needs, just 4 minutes, to write a completely different story.